What is up, my sci-fi sluts? Today I'm going to be bringing y'all with me to the Great Prop Swap. The Great Prop Swap is an annual event held in Southern California to celebrate the art of movie prop replicas. 2024, as far as I can tell, was their second official year running the program, with them officially confirmed to be coming back for 2025. Advertised as having over 50 different exhibitors with celebrity guests, costuming clubs, comics, live music, food trucks, and for fans of makeup, special effects, collectible toys, art, and costuming. This is definitely how the event was presented. And when I personally saw the advertising, I also saw them advertising it very much as sci-fi and horror. The actual event itself did not end up leaning very much towards horror, and it looks like they've definitely more narrowed down their niche with the advertising for 2025, because I've definitely been seeing it advertised as a sci-fi and Star Wars event. The 2024 event was held on June 8th at the Albert Shriners Auditorium in Kearny Mesa, which is around San Diego County area. So one of the selling points of the event was that they were going to have free parking, because most events in San Diego have very, very expensive paid parking. So this was definitely a good selling point. However, the parking lot of the actual auditorium that they used as the convention center was so small that it was like completely filled the entire event pretty much. Like by the time I got there, I literally just had to like circle the parking lot until somebody finally left. But alas, I went ahead, finally found a parking spot, and got to get into the convention center. Tickets were $10 and you could pay for them at the door, or you could also get free entry with a donation of canned food for Feeding San Diego. So I went ahead and brought myself a little donation to get me in. It was actually super lax. They weren't really checking. I just like dropped a little bag of food off and they waved me right in. They did, however, have people searching your bags, which I thought was really interesting for a convention of such small size compared to a lot of other ones. I guess definitely better to be safe. They also, when you entered, had a little like merch booth kind of station if you wanted to grab a t-shirt or something. This particular convention center was definitely on the smaller side, but not surprising because this was only the second official year of this convention being a thing. So when you enter, the first floor it definitely seemed to be more collectibles and resale type stuff. There was also like a cute little like photo op banner when you walked in, and it definitely kind of gave yard sale vibes, but not derogatory, like not in a bad way at all. It definitely felt like a very large sci-fi themed yard sale or swap meet type of deal, which I guess is kind of the point, being the Great Prop Swap. Like it's definitely giving swap meet vibes. But there were a ton of booths on this first floor, but this was very much the kind of toys, collectibles, comics, resale type items that were available. And then you can go ahead and go up to the second level of the convention center, where the second floor had the celebrity meet and greets and more, it seemed like artist-based booths. So I thought that that was a really fun distinction. I kind of liked that they had things separate, because I know there are a lot of people who have very distinct preferences on what they like to shop or check out at these different events. So I thought it was really nice that it was kind of separated. It also looked like on this floor there were a few people who like didn't show up to their booth spaces, which I thought was interesting. Like vendors, not the celebrities. From what I could tell, all the celebrities that were advertised did actually show up. And I'm gonna be real, I do say celebrities as a loose term. It was definitely more like not A-list actors, of course. I don't think anybody expects that for an event of this size, but I do definitely hope that the convention grows a little bit more in the future and they're able to have a larger variety of the types of celebrities that they feature. Not that I have any issue with smaller celebrities. Like, I am also an indie actor. I do not give a shit about the level of fame somebody has, but it was all very Star Wars focused, and not even just the celebrities, but the entire event itself was very Star Wars focused, which is not a bad thing. I would just personally like to see a little bit more variety or see it more specifically advertised as being Star Wars. But for something as neutrally named as the Great Prop Swap, I definitely would have hoped for a little bit more variety. And then if we go ahead and head outside to check out the different areas, there was a section that featured a couple of different food trucks in case you got hungry while at the event. And then outside is also where they held, I think, a couple of additional vendors, but this was primarily club booths. So booths that were advertising different clubs and organizations. I believe there were a lot of different like costuming clubs specifically. I actually stopped and interacted with the San Diego Ghostbusters group because I was curious. I had seen them advertised online as being one of the featured vendors, and I tried like looking them up to see what exactly the San Diego Ghostbusters were, and didn't really get a distinct answer. It was super vague. Whereas like there's the LA Ghostbusters, which is very clearly like a cosplay group, but charity based. So I was like, well, is the San Diego Ghostbusters like the same thing or are they different? Because too, it even looked like one of the members was like a literal paranormal investigator. So I was confused. So I stopped and asked. Also, they interacted with me because I was dressed up like a Ghostbuster to the event, and they were very, very sweet and lovely. It was really nice to interact with them, but they kind of danced around my question of asking what exactly they were. So I still don't actually have an answer. I think they're primarily a cosplay group. But with that wrapped up what I personally was able to check out at the event. I didn't actually personally pick up anything at this one because, I'll be honest, I was a little bit overwhelmed with the event, just the amount of people who actually showed up. It did seem to be a pretty popular event. Like, the nerds showed up. Complimentary. But there were a lot of people and it was mostly IPs that I didn't recognize. So I didn't personally pick anything up, but if it's a genre that you're a little bit more familiar with, I think this is a fantastic event for fans to check out. And a lot of different varieties of items at a lot of different price points. It also did look like they were hosting a few different giveaways from a few different booths, and I think they even hosted a prop replica competition. I don't think it was like open to the public. I think it was for like the vendors and exhibitors they were doing the competition, but I still thought that was cool and a fantastic way to encourage things to be a little bit more prop based, because that is technically what the event is supposed to primarily be about. I do also think it would have been really cool to have featured a lot more photo ops and things like that, especially being a prop-based event. Like, have some photo ops set up where people can actually like take pictures with different props from different IPs and medias. I think would have been super fun and a great way to advertise and help grow the event on social media. But I'm definitely very, very curious to see how the event grows in the future and would definitely attend again. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to attend 2025, but here's hoping that they do one for 2026 and we will be able to check it out. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. I had a blast hanging out with y'all. Peace.